the awkward moment when you try to make a video but there's no card in your camera so it won't start and you just keep pressing record and it doesn't work and then you see the button. So today I have my top 5 Wednesday video and I only made one of these and that was in May and it's kind of sad and I'm a failure, but it's okay, I'm back and I really like this topic because I do this very often. I'll just sit down and then not get up all day and finish a book. So, the books I am going to be talking about are books that I finished in one sitting. So, I just picked out 5, and I actually didn't grab that one. So I just picked out 5, and the first one I'll talk about is If I Stay by Gail Forman, and I read this in the car ride to Canada last year, and so obviously I didn't even get up to go to the bathroom, and it was sad, and it was a bad experience. But there is this one. This was one of my favorite books. It's just, the emotions in here really got to me, and I was crying the whole car ride. But it's okay because I read it in one sitting, and it was really one of the best books I ever read. And I owned it for so long before I read it. And I was like, oh, it's going to be a movie. I got to read it before I see the movie. And I love the book so much more than the movie. And yeah. The next book I have is 4 by Veronica Roth. And I got this book signed. I drove 40 minutes away to get a copy, and I didn't even meet her. They just had signed copies. And I didn't drive just to get this book. I also went to another book signing. But I called the store. I was like, you have to reserve me a copy because if there's none when I get there, I'm going to be pissed. So they did reserve me a copy. So I was all good. So this I read in one sitting. I sat in my front room, and I don't think I took any pee breaks for this one either. Yeah! And I always joke around. I posted this on Instagram, which you can follow me. It's JessStern98. But I posted this on Instagram, just like a book appreciation thing. I was like, 4. I read this in 4 hours. Because it's pretty accurate. I read this so quickly, and it was insane, and it's so good. And it's definitely what I needed after my extreme divergent depression phase. Because it's over. And it's never coming back. And Allegiant was awful. The ending. Ugh. So the next book I'm going to talk about is Please Ignore Vera Dietz by A.S. King, and I read this one while I was in Canada too. Funny, I read a lot in Canada apparently. And I started this one at 6 o'clock at night, where we got back from doing stuff and then we had nothing to do, so I literally read this till 2 a.m. or something, but I finished it. And it was really good. It was definitely a read that I would suggest. It's just such an interesting story, and look at this. It went up against a book with a sticky thing, and I pulled them apart, and it ripped the cover. I almost cried for 5 hours, but let's not talk about that. The next book I'm talking about, or I will talk about, is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. I read this in one sitting because, and I should have been studying for finals because it was the day before one of my finals, and I was like, it's okay, Jenny Han. So this is also one of my favorite books. If it's a good book, I'm going to read it quick. There's no in between. I'll either take 5, or that's a lie. Sometimes I read really good books in months because I don't want them to end. Like Clockwork Princess. It's taken me a month. Not even, no, yeah, it's been half a month. Can't finish it. I'm too scared. I'm halfway through now. And I was like, no, it can't end. So I picked up another book. Yeah, but this one was a great closer to the story of To All the Boys I Loved Before, and Jenny Han is amazing, and she tweeted me when I told her how awesome this was, and I cried for 5 hours. Yeah. And the last one is I read for Booktubeathon, and I was so proud of this accomplishment because this is a longer book. I mean, not terribly long. It's only 400 pages, but it's hard to understand everything, and I didn't remember everything from the first book, so I would have to reread stuff. I'd have to go look stuff up, who is this person? But that is Hello City by Ransom Riggs, and it's the second one for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and I love these books. I read the first one before my freshman year when it just came out, and it was so good. I love how he interprets all the pictures in there because I really like photography and stuff. So this one meant a lot to me back then, and then I'm I wasn't going to read it because I forgot everything that happened in it, but I kind of just picked it up as I was going along because I have a great memory. And it's just one of my many awesome traits. So yeah, so this is another book I read in one sitting, and it was after school, summer school. Fun. Okay, so that is the top 5 books I read in one sitting. It's kind of not in any order or anything, but I'm most proud of this one. Yeah. So don't forget to check out my new or old videos and like and subscribe and comment. Tell me which books you read in one sitting. Bye!